Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you a council brief from our regular council meeting that was held May 13th, 2024. And the first item that came up on the agenda, under agenda item 4.1, was delegation by appointment. We had our citizen representative for the Green Acres Foundation, Roger Holm, present to council regarding their report to the community 2023. And basically, Roger gave us an update on all the items that were going on at our senior homes in Coaldale. And it's quite a in-depth report, and what I'll do is have this uploaded to our agenda package that will be posted in the comment section. So all you have to do is click on the link and it'll take you to any agenda item that explains it in more detail over and above what I am giving you as part of this brief. One of the interesting items that came out of this report, the question was asked how full our senior homes are in Coaldale, and right now we're at 97% capacity, and council has had preliminary discussions with the Green Acres Foundation as to what we can do for more senior housing in Coaldale. So that is something that our council is definitely working on, so stay tuned for more information on that. The next item that came up under agenda item 6.1, and that was regarding a rain barrel rebate program. So back in December of last year, Minister of Environment and Protected Areas, the Honorable Rebecca Schultz, sent a letter addressed to all elected municipal leaders in Alberta, in which she writes that in order to be fully prepared for a severe drought, municipal leaders throughout Alberta will need to take action. So the town of Coaldale has started to look at what needs to be implemented when the different levels of the drought restrictions take place. And for those that don't know, we get our potable water or our drinking water from the city of Lethbridge. So our council has agreed to more or less follow the steps that the city of Lethbridge puts out to their residents, and that's only fair because we get our water from them as well. So one of the items that we thought we could be proactive on is the opportunity for residents to be able to get rain barrels from the town of Coaldale. And what was decided, instead of us buying a whole bunch of rain barrels, keeping them at the town shop where residents could come and buy them from us and then go pick one up, we decided to budget $15,000 towards 375 rain barrels. So the way that works, that anybody in the town of Coaldale with a civic address can go to any store they want and purchase a rain barrel, and then the town will reimburse 50% of that rain barrel cost up to $100. So if you go out and buy a $100 rain barrel from Coaldale Home Hardware, we'll, as a town, will reimburse you $50 for that. So again, we budgeted $15,000, so we'll be able to supply rebates on up to 375 rain barrels. And actually, I hope we do that, and then we would have to find more funds to do more of that, because I think it's a great program to have in place. And as far as further drought measures coming up in Coaldale, stay tuned. We'll make sure that we get that information out to our residents. The next item that came up was agenda item 6.2, and that was regarding a Coaldale and District Emergency Services apparatus replacement. And we had our Director of Protective Services, Clayton Rutberg, present on that. So the purpose of this agenda staff report was that during budget deliberations, a proposal was brought before council not to replace Rescue 1 and Engine 12 with a rescue engine while still meeting the 2027 replacement timeline. And at that time, council decided to defer a decision to the Emergency Services Committee, which I am part of, Councillor Jason Avery and Councillor Jason Beekman, and our Chief Administrative Officer, Kaylin Hastings, as well as with our Fire Chief, Clayton. We sit on that committee to have further discussions and bring a recommendation back to Council. The Emergency Services Committee has had the opportunity to review the proposal and provide feedback to help shape the current replacement plan. And the emergency services vehicles are, of course, the department's backbone, delivering our equipment, personnel, and the ability to flow water to the fire scene. Apparatus are designed to handle various situations such as fire suppression, motor vehicle collisions, rescues, and medical calls. The current proposal is repurposing the use of the current rescue into a command and air support apparatus. And air support meaning whenever they're on a fire scene and they use self-contained breathing apparatus, we need to replenish the cylinders for the firefighters, and that rescue unit is set up to do that. And then leaving this vehicle in the emergency services fleet as long as it's mechanically capable while replacing engine 12 with a combination of engine and rescue apparatus. So instead of having a separate rescue truck, a separate fire truck, we're going to combine both into one unit. And this would be designed to handle situations that come up. And we would see several significant operating benefits from this strategic shift in our fleet. So after a discussion at our services committee meetings and at council, to order this truck and have it delivered, we wouldn't be able to get it until 2027. So what we're going to do, council passed a resolution to direct administration to develop and issue a request for a proposal for a rescue/engine combination truck, and then further to this, administration will evaluate the proposals received and prepare a report for council to seek the approval to purchase the apparatus. So basically what that means, they're going to go out and get proposals from different manufacturers on what this combination fire truck rescue is going to cost. And then at that time, they'll come back for council for further direction. And that way we can add it to our budget deliberations that we've started back in the fall of 2023. So the committee is going to come up with a design of what best suits Coaldale, and then for a fire truck/rescue truck, and report back to council. After that, the next item was under agenda item 7.1 under bylaws and policies. We had a supplementary assessment tax bylaw, and we had our Chief Financial Officer, Kyle Beauchamp, and our Deputy CAO present on that. And this is regarding a supplementary assessment in accordance with Section 313 of the Municipal Government Act. A supplementary assessment notice shows the assessed value of any improvements that have been completed or occupied during the current calendar year and not included in the annual tax notice. So in other words, you're doing renovations on your home, and at tax time, you only have it partially done, and then this carries over so that we can send out a tax assessment on the property that's being renovated or built. So we passed all 3 readings on that tonight to pass that bylaw, and this is a $25,000 in supplementary tax revenue each year as part of its operating budget. And again, this is part of the budget process, and this tax bylaw was passed at our council meeting this afternoon. The next agenda item, under agenda item 7.2, the special tax recreation, and this is one that we have to bring back to council every year as well. And this is regarding the design and construction of the multi-use rec facility within Coldale that we're going to have the soft opening for on June the 3rd. And the total cost of that build was $18,880,000, of which 10 million was funded through a debenture debt or a loan, and the payments are covered by the revenue gathered by this tax recreation bylaw, which is $10 per month per household for a total of $120 a year. So that has to come back to council every year to get approval. And based on 2023, our projections are based on this tax will raise $390,000 that will go towards the debenture payments. And we passed all 3 readings for that as well. Next agenda item was under 7.3, and that was the 2024 property tax bylaw, and we passed first reading. And again, that was presented by our Chief Financial Officer. So based on the discussions, again, we passed first reading, and the 2024 growth and inflation statistics, the residential growth newest assessment went up by 1.22%. Non-residential went up by 11.89%. Residential inflation increased property values by 9.98%, and non-residential inflation values increased by 6.68%. And the municipal portion of the tax rate is adjusted to the inflation factor, resulting in a decrease in the tax rate. And as a result, the town's budget does not inflate with changes in property values resulting from inflation. And we need to wait until the Lethbridge County finalizes their tax rate, and there will be some slight adjustments to ours. And we hope at our next council meeting we'll be able to set our residential and non-residential tax rate. And the reason we got to wait for the county is part of the annexation. We have areas that are annexed into the county that, as per the agreement, they get to remain at the county tax rate. And we can't set our tax rate until the county sets theirs. So that's why we have to pass first reading, and then we'll bring this up again at the next council meeting. And then under agenda item 7.4, we had the fees and rates bylaw come before council. And again, we had our CFO Kyle Beauchamp present on this. And this has to do with our business license section that was previously discussed with council at our April 22nd council meeting. And we had Mark Anderson present on that. And we set fees for that one. Let me just pull that up here for a sec. And it has to do with something that's becoming more popular, not only in Coldale, but other areas, is regarding the food trucks, markets, roadside fruits and vegetable stands. And we changed the business license for that for resident at $100 and non-resident $150 per year. And then the other one that was part of this is the Taxi and Transportation Network Company. And the taxi business license is $100 a year, and the same goes for out-of-town taxi companies. If they want to provide service, it will be $100 per year as well. And previously, the way it was priced before, some of the companies out of Lethbridge felt it was cost prohibitive to buy business licenses in Coldale for the amount of business they get. But now that it's reduced down to $100, we hope to see more companies service Coaldale, and obviously our ultimate hope is that we would get a local taxi company started up in Coaldale. So hopefully this will plant the seed to get that process started. The next agenda item under that was agenda item 7.5, and that was regarding the emergency services level of service policy. And this is basically just a governance document on how council expects our department to operate. And it's for the different levels of service. And there's, I'll read you the policy statement that the town of Coaldale has established through the Emergency Services Bylaw and Emergency Services Department, Coaldale and District Emergency Services, that will provide fire protection services according to the provisions of this policy. The town recognizes that residents and visitors can be exposed to a variety of hazards, from fires to other emergencies. The role of the Coaldale and District Emergency Services is to provide a level of service to assist in resolving these emergencies and keeping the public protected. And the purpose of this document is to identify the services that the Coaldale and District Emergency Services is authorized to provide, and the level or standard to which the services will be provided. So we have a document in place that says what our fire services can and cannot do. And it's quite in depth, and again, it'll be part of the agenda package that if you just follow the link for the agenda item, it'll take you right to the document and explain in further detail. Then we had a departmental report regarding infrastructure update, and we had our Director of Infrastructure, Dustin Yankee, present on that. And this is always kind of a fun one where we get updates on everything that's going on from regarding capital projects. And one of the first ones that Dustin talked about was regarding the Civic Square outdoor space. So that's the space between the back of the new town office and the library. And he chatted about what work is completed to date, and what we're hoping to have done by the end of June, that's much needed, is our parking pad or parking lot out in the back. That's going to be a 44 stall unit where it'll be for staff for the town office, and there'll be public parking there as well, because we all know on Main Street, certain parts of the day, it's painful to get a parking spot. And I apologize to any of the business owners along Main Street watching this that always see town vehicles parked in front of their business. And by the end of June, we can start parking in the back where we should be. Also, at the end of the June, where the outdoor skating rink is going, the building exteriors will be finished. The ice rink slab will be poured. Some of the landscaping will be done. And by the end of July, the two buildings, one is going to be bathroom, change room, concession. The other one's going to be a building for the Zamboni. Those will be done by the end of July. And then the refrigeration equipment for the ice rink will be completed, installed, and commissioned in time for the upcoming winter months. The next item he brought us up to date on was the potable water reservoir and pump station. So for those that don't know, we have underground storage behind the current Coaldale Sportsplex, and we've outgrown that. And now with the McCain's expansion and McCain's getting their potable water through the same pipeline that we get from the city of Lethbridge to meet the contract agreements, Town of Coaldale has to upgrade their potable water reservoir. And this new facility is going to be going in just north of Boss Sod along 18th Avenue. So there'll be an underground concrete vault that I was told that's going to hold potable water in size comparable to 4.5 Olympic size swimming pools. So that'll be our reserve that we are going to require for the town of Coaldale. And that project is going to be tendered coming up this week, I believe, yes, and then it closes on May 30th. We've pre-qualified 12 contractors, and construction is slated to start at the end of June 2024 and completed by the end of 2025. The next item was the Eastern Industrial Transmission Pipeline. So again, this has to do with the McCain's expansion. Right now, the potable water line that comes from the city of Lethbridge goes through the town of Coaldale's infrastructure and continues on to McCain's. Now Lethbridge County is doing a bypass line that's going to go around Coaldale, and then the town of Coaldale is going to tap into this line as part of the previous project I discussed, the underground potable water reservoir. So Lethbridge County is working on that right now. So if you were to drive by Boss Sod along 18th Avenue, you'll see construction going on, and then it turns north, and then it turns east again at the 2-mile intersection, and it continues on all the way to McCain's, and that's to supply them potable water for their processing system. Then Dustin gave us an update on the Land O'Lakes Drive pedestrian crossing, and that's going to be that 3-meter pathway that's going to be crossing all 4 lanes of highway and also the CP tracks, and continues on to the new school and rec center. And this 3-meter pathway will be an at-grade crossing. So it'll work in conjunction with the traffic lights, obviously, with pedestrian crosswalk, and then when you get to CP Rail, there'll be a CP Rail crossing with cross arms to prevent students or users of the rec facility to cross the tracks when a train is coming. And the pathway will interconnect with the roadway system that's going to the new rec center, and that'll be completed in time for the opening of the school this fall. Then we also had an update on the Highway 3 speed limit coming through Coaldale, with all this new construction going on, not only with McCain's, but other projects east of Coaldale. With the items that are going on in Coaldale, speed is always a concern. So we initiated discussions with Alberta Transportation and Economic Corridors along the Highway 3, and they're doing some internal studies of the pedestrian crossing, and concluded that a comprehensive speed study of the entire corridor is necessary. And this decision stems from the concern that having multiple speed zones within town limits could lead to driver confusion and complicate enforcement efforts. So when you're coming into Coaldale, the speed limit is 70, goes down to 50, and then goes back up to 70. So they're trying to figure out if they're going to have one constant speed. One number that was thrown around is if they're going to have a 60-kilometer speed limit all the way through Coaldale. So once this draft report is reviewed and accepted, they can immediately make the changes to the speed zones along the highway temporarily while an order is issued and awaits signature of the Minister of Transportation. And this process is being expedited due to the fact that Alberta Traffic and Economic Corridor staff are in agreement that a change needs to be made. So stay tuned for an update on that. Malloy 2B is another project. If everybody is familiar with the Cottonwood Pond, the Malloy 2B is a project where there's going to be another storm pond built just strictly south of the Cottonwood Pond. And this is a project, a tri-party, the town of Coaldale, Lethbridge County, and St. Mary River Irrigation District are nearing completion of the detailed design for the Malloy 2B project, and aim to have the tender package listed in the next few weeks. and construction is anticipated to start this August. The late start is due to the fact that much of the work needs to be coordinated with landowners operating farmland, and as well shut down the St. Mary's River Irrigation District canal system. Again, further pipe suppliers have indicated there's a long lead time for ordering materials due to shortages across the market, and the project is anticipated to be completed by the Q3 of 2025. And basically what we're going to be doing is taking water from the Cottonwood Pond, and we're going to, right now if you drive by there, you'll see a pumping unit sitting on the pond bank, and it's pumping it into the open ditch, which flows over and ends up in the Malloy Drain, east of Coaldale, and ends up in Stafford Lake. So now we're going to be putting a pipeline that goes from the Cottonwood Storm Pond, and that's going to go up to the decommissioned reservoirs that are over by the ball diamonds, and those are quite large, and they will hold water from any large rain event for up to 72 hours until Environment Canada lets us release. And as part of this project, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be installing another storm pond south of the Cottonwood Pond, and the purpose of that one is to capture overland flooding from the south that has historically come into Coaldale and did quite a bit of flood damage in our community. And the purpose of this Malloy 2B project is to capture that water and redivert it to the decommissioned water reservoirs. And based on the information we received to date, between those two decommissioned reservoirs, they will hold more water than any rain event Coaldale has ever experienced. So this is a much needed project to get this finalized. We have some grants in play, and the full completion of this project is obviously based on us receiving these grants, because for the three parties, again, Town of Coaldale, Lethbridge County, and St. Mary's River Irrigation District, it's cost prohibitive to take this all on our own. Another item that Dustin talked about is in the Industrial Park, 12th Avenue. We're going to complete the final top lift paving. So we always leave the last layer off until all the construction is done with the lot, making of the lots and such. So that'll be completed prior to September of this year. And basically, other than that, we had an update on the Horsefly Regional Emergency Spillway, and that's regarding a large project that's going on with many municipal partners. Again, water runs downhill, and the Horsefly Spillway is to help divert that water in a more efficient way to the Old Man River instead of flooding areas east of Coaldale. That was it for that report. Dustin did an excellent job on that. And then we had committee reports. We had a update on the Gem of the West Museum with what's going on by our council rep, Councillor Dale Pickering, and Dale did an excellent job on providing information on that. And then other than that, under information items, we received the minutes of several organizations, the Chinook Regional Library, SEWA, Coaldale Chamber of Commerce, Gem of the West Museum, PAWS, and an updated council meeting calendar. So now council gets the meeting minutes from the different committees, or most of the committees that there's council representation, so we can all kind of have a handle of what's going on with their organizations. And that was it for the open session of the meeting. And again, I'll have the agenda package in the comment section. I encourage you to review everything that was discussed. We'll also have the video link so you can watch the entire council meeting if you choose. And if you have any questions, concerns, I'll have my contact information at the end of the video. Feel free to reach out, give me a call, send me an email, stop me on the street. Same goes for all the other members of council. We're always available. For us, it's all about communication and getting the information out to our residents. Other than that, do me a favor, if you see this video, comment on it, like it, share it. I'm always looking for feedback, what I can do better. And that's about it. So other than that, unless I see you on the street, have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.